in my mind. I says, you know, Rama is a god. He said, yes. But I said, you know, he didn't know that the buck was not a buck. Can you imagine? He's God, but he didn't know that the buck was not a buck. Somebody was deceiving him. He's God, but he didn't know, poor fellow. So that's what it looks like. That's what the book says. He didn't know. I said, you know, Rama is a god, but he wants the help of a monkey god to help him. He is God, but he needs a monkey god to help him out of his difficulty. Incongruous. I said, yeah, look, he's a god. And yet, you know, I said, 12 years poor fellow had to wait to get his wife back. You see, Ravan, maybe he had a helicopter or a boat. You know, he took Sita across just like that. Rama took him 12 years, you know, to build a causeway. I said, didn't he know how to make a raft? You know, these people that we are talking about, my people. 5,000 years ago, there was a civilization in the Indus Valley. I went to Mohenjo-daro and Taxila outside Rawalpindi. In Rawalpindi, Taxila, there are excavation works going on, and there's a museum close by. I visited it around the 1950s. At that time, I wasn't very much interested in what I'm talking now. It was just, you know, casually, just to come and tell people I visited Taxila. From that point, I visited the place. And in the museum, I saw gold jewelry as modern as today's jewelry, made by my ancestors 5,000 years ago. 3,000 years before Jesus was born, they had a waterborne sewerage in Taxila. They made muslin cloth, a yard muslin cloth, you can hold it in the palm of your hand. Now, that nation, they didn't know that dead wood floats. Is it possible? A nation was so civilized, they made gold jewelry, they made muslin cloth, but they didn't know that dead wood floats. I says, you know, in anthropology, study of man, we learn that mankind knew that dead wood floats long before he invented fire. You know, the primitive man standing by the riverside, the river is in flood, and he sees trees being washed away, and somehow the trees come somewhere nearby one of them, and then he wades in and he gets onto the tree and he sees this carrying his weight, you know, it's floating, and he's jumping, he says, hey, it's nice, gives a nice feeling. He discovered that dead wood floats long before he discovered how to make fire. And yet Rama, poor man, he didn't know how to make a raft. He could have crossed over, he wouldn't have waited 12 years. But the devil, Ravan, they say, is a devil. Look, the devil did it just like that. Amazing. God, he poor fellow, 12 years. And he says, look, you, my friend, if somebody takes your wife behind the door for 2 minutes, and if you have the power to break the door down, break the wall down, what would you do? You say, break it down. If you have the power, you wait. Somebody with your wife, your mother, your sister, your daughter, you wait for 12 years to rescue her? What kind of a God are you? So I says, 12 years? And what is that guy doing with his wife? Can you imagine? Because look, anybody steals somebody's wife, there's only one reason. No matter how old the guy is. Nobody steals people's wives to worship them, say, you're my Sita, you're very beautiful, you're very nice. So the guy sees how ridiculous the situation is. That's what you see, my forefathers, they saw the light and they extricated themselves. Or we have another experience. You see, the experience with Hinduism is so vast. But if you look for it, the opportunities are there. Pass it on, pass it on. When you're passing on, you're actually programming him, you're brainwashing him away from what he's holding on to. Because his mind revolts. God, he can't save his own wife. As if somebody abducts your wife and you say, oh Rama, help me, oh Rama, help me. I say, how can the poor Rama help you when he couldn't help his own wife? I had a couple from Rhodesia, old Rhodesia. They call themselves spiritualist white people. They came to the office, that's some times back. And I said, now how do you people come to find us? I said, no. He says, our priest, you know, when we closed for our Christmas holidays, he read from the Quran, you know, the birth of Jesus. And at the end of it, he said that, you know, this book speaks about Jesus and his mother in a nobler and a sublimer terms than anything to be found in the Bible. So they said, where did you get it? He said, look, when I was in Zululand, I was reading the Sunday Tribune, and in that there was an advert, and I wrote for the Quran, and I got it, which he used. So that is where we got our address from, so we come to see you. This is very good. And we found these spiritualist Christians, they call them some spiritualists. They don't belong to any other of these Orthodox churches. They were so tolerant, they were so good, that while I'm talking to them, they're very, very happy with my explanation. But they had an attitude towards all religions, that all religions are the same and all religions are equal. They say all the rivers go into the ocean and all the paths lead up to the top of the mountain. That's actually the Hindu programming. This is how the Hindus program people. So look, all rivers go into the ocean. You know my message, right? All the paths lead you to the top, means to God. Any path you take, you reach there. See, whether you take Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianism, communism, anything you take, you'll reach there. What are you worried about? You don't have to become a Muslim, or you don't have to become this or that. You just take any path, it'll take you there. You be a good Christian, I'll be a good Hindu. You be a good Muslim, I'll be a good Hindu. You don't interfere with me, I don't interfere with you. Sounds very, 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 charitable. So these people now are brainwashed with that type of idea. So all religions are the same, and they are all equal. And I'm telling them all religions are not the same, and they're not equal. And the more I argue, the more it creates the impression that we Muslims are very intolerant. He is tolerant, he's prepared to concede that Islam is equal to his, but I'm not prepared to concede that all are equal. And the more I argued, it was creating a bad taste in the mouth. So I said, now let's change the whole situation. So I'm telling them, I said, look, have you visited the mosque? He says, no. I said, come, I will take you to the mosque and see, how we Muslims pray. And they came, take off the shoes. I won't go into details, took off the shoes. While we make wudu, explain, saw the salat. We came out, very impressed. Very impressed. I said, now, have you been into a Roman Catholic cathedral? It's the next door. Next to the Jummah Masjid is the Roman Catholic cathedral. He said, yes, yes. So I said, now you know how the Muslims